my
some
dear.
of the hits in this one. Here.
Love the college rugby league.
Williams again leading the way. Murray getting involved as well. They come back towards the middle of the park. And oh, guess what? Another big hit. Knock on, so what a hit there. Here.
Love the college rugby league. Must be cold.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into round 10 of the SAS College Rugby League competition. Today we are streaming live from Southern Cross campus with Southern Cross taking on St. Paul's in the round 10 Premier Clash. You can see on screen St. Paul's going through their final warm-ups here. I'm going to welcome in Troy Hardy.
Thanks, Corey.
Well, Troy, good clash today. The Auckland champions up against the national champions. Should be a good look at what we can expect come finals time, but also a bit of a preview ahead of the national tournament in a couple of weeks' time.
Absolutely, mate. And I was very fortunate earlier on in the piece just to have a couple of quiet words with the St. Paul's coaches. And I was just asking them, how they thought the season was tracking. They're quite comfortable. They're, solidly entrenched in the top four. And talked about a couple of the other teams around them, and they were of the view that they could afford to drop one, but they don't want to. So they've come here pretty relaxed, and I think that'll probably play out in today's game. Southern Cross, having a look at their lineup, at the end of the season, they end up with a few of their boys coming back from the other code, and they certainly, ramp up with a wee bit of talent, and it'll be interesting to see how they hold their own today up against St. Paul's.
And of course, Southern Cross back-to-back national champions. They've brought through some wonderful athletes of late. The biggest name of them, of course, Ken Momalo, who has gone on to become a permanent fixture in the Vodafone Warriors side. Also made his debut for the Kiwis earlier this year in the Denver Test. A couple of players currently running around in the Fox as well, Siave Tupo and the like, who came through the system here. So certainly some good players at their disposal, I guess, and the coach as well, a vastly experienced coach. He's been involved with counties for a number of years and a number of clubs, Rod Ratu. So the well-coached side, Dave McDermott is well involved with St. Paul's. He led Kelston to the national title quite a few years ago and now helping out with St. Paul's College. Also coaches New Lynn at club level in the Crown Lift Trucks Shaman Cup competition. Speaking of club level, Troy, a big live stream game on this weekend in the Fox. Mangere East up against Mount Albert. Big game particularly for Mount Albert. They're in that sort of dogfight for fourth position right now. What are you expecting we'll see on Saturday?
I'm expecting them to probably go out and try and secure a W. That's what they'll be looking for. And saying that, Mangere East at home, the fabulous new club and the layup, I think they're enjoying themselves being, with their home games. So looking forward to getting down there. I think it'll be a tough day in the office for Mangere East, but depending on which team turns up, they'll certainly, be in it with a big one, in it for a big fight anyway.
So look at the other games going on today in round 10 of the SAS College Rugby League competition. Papatoetoe host Avondale. Kelston are at home to Pakuranga. It's going to be a tough ask for Pakuranga, sitting at the bottom of that ladder right now, and Kelston sitting second with only the one loss so far. Otahu versus Wesley. That shapes as an interesting game. Wesley currently occupying one of those top four spots. Otahu, well, they haven't been the powerhouse that we've known in previous years, but we've streamed a couple of the games this year, Troy. They've got a pretty impressive forward pack, that Otahu side, and I think that'll be a fairly physical matchup against Wesley, who I think you've watched a little bit of this year as well.
Yep, they've certainly got some size out there at the Rugby Factory in South Auckland, and they're going to be thereabouts. But, Kelston, again, always on the outskirts. St. Paul's, this is our first time in seeing them, so looking forward to it today, and I think it'll give us a good handle on where the comp's at.
Other games going on today, Mount Albert at home to Old Eri and Manurewa taking on Westlake Boys. A little look at the ladder as well. At the top, the undefeated St. Paul's College, just behind Kelston Boys High School with one loss so far, 8 wins to their name. Wesley and Southern Cross follow. They're tied on 14 points, which I guess adds to how important this game is today for the Southern Cross boys. And then sitting just on the cusp of the top four right now, Mount Albert, Grammar, Manurewa High School, and a little further back, Otahu, Avondale, Papatoetoe, Old Eri, Westlake, and at the bottom, Pakuranga, who have only got the one win to their name so far. So the whistle goes as we see the Southern Cross boys getting ready in front of the Hayden and Rollett bolsters there, and a big shout out to Hayden and Rollett, loyal sponsors of this competition for a number of years now, along with the principal sponsors, SAS Sport.
Just on the shout outs too, got to give a big rap to AJ, young fella helping us here today at the school. helped us with setting up the tent, and he was a strapping young man. Not sure if he's on the park today, but AJ wanted me to give him a shout out on the ARL live stream. And also young Dallas is here today with her father, and that's TJ. And TJ is doing the match managing today here for our main game. And we may catch him on screen. He's the big bearded, rounded, rotund fella on the far side there. And looking forward to catch up with him as well. So good to have the young daughter down helping out Dad as we see the referee now in the centre. And St Paul's are coming into your screen in a short moment. And it looks like Southern Cross are having, there we go. Look at him. Hey, what a strapping young man that is. So good to have his daughter down here today helping out at the College Rugby League. So Southern Cross have arrived, Corey. And looks like Southern Cross are now going to be coming in over on the left-hand side of the screen. And I think this is going to be a cracker.
Yeah, well, as we mentioned earlier, the Auckland champions up against the national champions in St Paul's. Well, they've really had a mortgage on that Auckland title for the last couple of years at least, after a brief period of dominance from Kelston. And, of course, some of the talent that St Paul's have brought through in recent times and right across their history, really. It is the undisputed nursery of New Zealand Rugby League. And in more recent times, the likes of Bunty R4, who have come through into the Warriors. Some super impressive athletes. Stacey Jones, another two have come through there in the early days.
Mark Graham, legend, NRL Hall of Fame. He's a boy from St Paul's, can't get any better than that.
Big congratulations to Mark Graham, recently inducted, well, not inducted, but announced that he would be inducted into the NRL Hall of Fame. That ceremony will be held later this year. The first Kiwi to do so, who's nominated alongside Stacey Jones and Ruben Wiki as well.
Two out of the school. That's not bad going. And just while we're talking about inductees, can't leave my friend Kurt Sorensen out in the cold. Inducted into the Widnes Hall of Fame, and that was on the 14th at 11 a.m. I believe. Or maybe
That's a very exact stat there.
Yes, it's only because he rang me up and said, "Can you keep it all under wraps? Can you keep it all under wraps?" I said, "Yeah, I'll do my best, Kurt." However, it's being released at 11 a.m. in the morning, and it happened to be that UK morning, so like 29 minutes later it was released in our time.
And Kurt, another of our very fine Auckland Rugby League juniors, and Troy, I know you've had a lot to do with the Sorensens through the years as well, but one of our finest performers, of course, part of that all-conquering 1977 Auckland team, which did the Grand Slam against Great Britain, France and Australia. All right, we're just about ready for kickoff now, and it will be St Paul's to get us underway. We are running 25-minute halves here in the SAS College Rugby League competition.
There's some sizable boys out here on the park today, Corey. We're right line side, and good crowd too, just quietly, both sides of the field. We've got thumbs up from our side, and we're all set.
So here we go, round 10 of the SAS College Rugby League competition. St Paul's College up against Southern Cross Campus. And straight away into it, it is Winchman Yao who carries forward. Southern Cross, well, they haven't tended to do so well in the Auckland competition over the last few years, but have really peaked come Nationals time. And Troy, you mentioned they tend to get a few of their rugby union players back and form a pretty formidable outfit. But different story this year. They are right in the mix with the best teams this year in the competition, and it would be a big statement today if they were able to get one over the defending champions. As the ball goes to ground now, so that won't help, and it's picked up by Moala. Palota Kopa now clears the ruck. They're only 10 metres or so out from the line, or 20 I should say. A little hard to pick up the markings on the field today here at Southern Cross Campus. Now it's the captain, Tanuvasa, who has played for this Premier team for a couple of seasons now. Shepherd clears the ruck, and they work down the left-hand side, but good scramble defence from Southern Cross, and they get there in numbers. Taking the ground is Savilio. Now they ruck it out and they shift play on. Christian Toipolotu to Moala. Moala dummies. Moala just about goes through. Hanging on for dear life there was Finau. Last tackle coming up, and they spin it to the middle of the park. It's kicked in behind, but it's cleaned up by Southern Cross, and he's got a little bit of work to do if he's going to get out here, and St Paul's get there in numbers. Force him in goal, and that will be a dropout. So good first set there for St. Paul's. Troy pretty patient on the ball, weren't they? And got the result at the end of it.
It was a nice little dink through too, wasn't it?
Southern Cross now prepared to restart play under the Hayden and Rollitt uprights. It's fielded by Tuipolotu. Brilliant tackle down low from Puru. And now St. Paul's again go out towards that left edge. And old fight is taken about 10 out from the line. Now Tanavasa gets a quick play of the ball. Southern Cross did well to recover there. It looked like there was a gap in the defensive line. They clear the ruck through Shepherd. Shuffles play on to Tuipolotu. Christian Tuipolotu is going to open the scoring here. Christian Tuipolotu, last year's SAS College Rugby League Player of the Year. And he wastes no time in getting going in this one. Nice little chime into the back line there. Let's take a look on the SAS replay.
Made it all look very simple, didn't he?
He did indeed, and you can see here Fraser Leo with first touch of the ball, and then from here Tuipolotu just sums it up really nicely. The big dummy sells out one, puts a little fend on, a little bit of footwork on the other. It had a bit of everything, that one, Troy.
Yep, 3 defenders on him as he went over. Not a bad looking try, and now we wait for the kick to come.
Sione Moala to attempt the conversion. He's part of the Warriors development system. Also played for NZ16s. Earmarked as a real future leader of the school as well, as he steps in, and no mistake from in front. So it is St. Paul's College who lead 6 points to 0. 4 minutes gone here at Southern Cross campus in the SAS College Rugby League competition, brought to you in association with Hayden and Rollitt. And while I'm there, I must give a big shout out to an awesome scholarship opportunity currently available through the Auckland Rugby League. And register your interest on aucklandleague.co.nz. It's also on the Facebook and Twitter page right now. You can win a year's free study at NZIS, an awesome opportunity for any youngster coming through. And another of the efforts being made by the Auckland Rugby League to not only make better rugby league players, but better people. So again, details for that one available on aucklandleague.co.nz. You can also contact Vigo Rasmussen at the Auckland Rugby League for more details on that one. A tricky one that bounces down, and they're lucky to get away with that one, not rolling dead. Scooped up by St. Paul's, and they get back into it via Fraser Leo. Good to see another of the St. Paul's old boys getting a
Great run.
As we see a really
Still
good
running.
run now, and he's got some toe on him. The cover defense coming across. He summed it up really nice, and he hands it off to Fali Noah, who is bundled into touch. That's a brilliant covering tackle. But boy, oh boy, didn't Matthew Savelio show some toe down the left edge. Eventually taken out. It was well recovered in the end by Southern Cross. But as I was mentioning, as that break went down, really good to see Bradley Abbey, who came through the St. Paul's system here, actually started in the final a few years ago against Kelston at Mount Smart Stadium. He's had to be pretty patient. Didn't get a run at the Warriors when he was here, and then went over to the Bulldogs, had limited opportunities there, but at the Canberra Raiders now, and with suspension sort of opening the door for him to get a run there. So awesome to see another of our young Auckland products getting a go. So scrum to pack down now, 6 minutes gone.
Yeah, probably the only second opportunity for Southern Cross to have the ball, so they'll be wanting to complete a set here, I'd suggest.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a fairly brutal opening 6 minutes for Southern Cross after that mistake on their opening set. They hadn't seen the ball since, and
Bit sloppy.
almost haven't learnt their lesson, because some of the service is questionable to say the least. Brandon Puru that time struggling to find his mark, and now they play
Big
short,
run.
and there's a big bumping carry forward from
Still running.
Finau, who is still going now down the left. Must have thought about playing in his winger, Junior Morley then. Now Puru jumps out, and Puru gets smashed. Comes back for more though. 3 join the tackle eventually for St. Paul's. This is better from Southern Cross. Now they clear the ruck. Come back to the middle, but it's put down. And it's Alfred Vitti who comes up with the error.
We really got to show some patience and complete a set. A couple of exciting runs there, though.
Yeah, it was indeed, particularly when they brought Fino in on the plate.
That guy.
Plays his footy for the Mangere East Hawks under 18s. He's in year 13 at school. Plans to be a builder after graduating from high school. So back underway we go. Toi Pilotu now shuffles play on to his centre, Savilio, who made that really impressive break just a few moments ago down that side of the field. He's one to watch. Now they jump out of dummy half. Toi Pilotu. He's caught them napping here, and Toi Pilotu, the footwork, the fend, gets the offload as well. Unfortunately, it's to a man in the wrong coloured jersey. And Kaido picks it up. They'll start this set 40 metres out from their line. Now Southern Cross get going. Good carry forward now, looking to play things a little bit more up-tempo now. Puru jumps into dummy half and he shuffles play on. Some of the service from dummy half. It's been terrible to start the game. I won't be impressing Coach Rod Ratu at all. Play back in behind the ruck. Tapu Soa, the year 12 prop. Puru spins it wide. Got numbers out here on this right edge. Now do Southern Cross and they'll go over. Simple as that. Nitoa Kairau crashes over from short range off the back of a St. Paul's mistake. Let's take a look now on the SAS Sport replay. Couple of big carries in there, Troy, from the big fellas, and got some quick play the balls as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you sort of touched earlier with the service from dummy half. I really don't even know if it's the actual pass or whether it's the runners not, you know, owning the running onto the ball. It's 6-1 half the other. But here they did run on, you know, the catch pass. Everyone was in sync, good rhythm. Showed a wee bit of strength here as he went through and dotted down for the try.
It was a nice line he ran in the end there for the try, Kairau. Year 13, another of the Mangere East under 18s. Of course, the Mangere East club just around the corner. It's where we will be again on Saturday, live streaming. Mangere East Hawks up against the Mount Albert Lions.
Yeah, it's going to be a big day out, and looking forward to being down at the Mangere East Hawks new club grounds, and we get to have a look around there, and I'm sure Val and Tash down there will be serving up a wonderful free lunch for you and I, Corey, so we'll be looking forward to that.
Hope you're listening, ladies.
Yeah,
a subtle hint
free lunch for
Troy.
everybody. Free lunch for everybody.
So they go to attempt the conversion now. It's a difficult one to start with. Already getting pretty dark down here as well. Picking up on the screen. They step in, and it is away. So the score remains St. Paul's College 6, Southern Cross Campus 4.
Yeah, just being a wee bit more specific around the passing from the dummy half. I think, you know, the passes were good. They were flat, but nobody was running onto the ball, you know, and hitting it.
Yeah, you're right, and best displayed on that slow motion replay there. We saw he's actually got really good crisp service out of dummy half Puru, so you could be right, so just a little breakdown of
communication.
But they'll need to get it right because it's been the cause of 2 errors already for them, Southern Cross Campus. As Moala prepares to get us back underway. 10 minutes gone here. Good carry forward there. That time it's from Tapu Soa. Short at the line, a little prop-to-prop play there. Mixing it up a bit now, Southern Cross. Puru is a dummy half. Shifts play on, brings in his playmaker, Witchman now, who takes him up over halfway. 45 out from the line. One tackle up their sleeve. They go to the line this time. They tackled well down low. Last tackle now coming up. Puru will play down the short side. Brings his half back into it, who thinks about accelerating off, but he's tackled brilliantly from Leighton Finau, and then flicks it out the back. It's hot potato stuff here from Southern Cross. They've got to get to a kick, and they do so eventually. Uncontested, and Toi Pilotu reels it in with ease. Look at the work of Christian Toi Pilotu. Like a hot knife through butter, and you can well and truly see why this man was voted the best college player in Auckland last year. Phenomenal talent. It's the head boy of St. Paul's College this year as well. He's attracting a whole lot of interest from NRL and Super Rugby clubs.
Great running.
Brilliant run up through the middle now.
Oh,
They're
he's
still
gone.
going. Matthew Palu, only one to beat. The cover coming across. Flicks the little offload and another one. And Moala will be the man to finish it. Unselfish play there from the St. Paul's lads.
Let's have a
Particularly
look
at
at that
the end.
SAS replay. Sorry, Corey.
Palota Coppa, you think, could have probably crashed over himself there. But let's take a look on the replay here, Troy, and look at the
No.
pace Palu hits the ball at here.
They were just running at will, mate. They'd held off. Like, you know, watch them coming into on the slow-mo here. Wee bit of a step at the line. Holding off. No one was actually rushing the D. He just split them, little fend through. Thought, well, here's an opportunity. Just ran away from him as well. That was the third attempt. Fourth attempt coming on. So he missed that guy and thought, oh, no, I'll just pop it out anyway. Now, at this point, this guy could have scored. He went, no, everyone have a turn.
Tell you what, Moala just about puts the ball down as well, which wouldn't have pleased anyone.
You know, if that had been me going through, Corey, and you were off my left-hand side, I would have popped it up for you too, mate.
Oh, never in doubt, Troy, never in doubt. Really nice play there from St. Paul's. And stretches the lead out.
And the kick is good.
With the conversion, it is St. Paul's College 12, Southern Cross 4. 13 minutes gone here at Southern Cross campus.
And a big, strong crowd down here today, Corey. Not just over the far side, but to our left and to the right. Stuck in the middle with me is Savannah, but, you know, that was a song. Probably hadn't heard of that before, but there you go.
Yeah. One for all the mums and dads out
How's
there.
that
or maybe
lead going,
grandparents.
Savannah?
It's okay, thank you very much, Troy.
Well, make sure you get those photos in.
So Southern Cross back to restart play. They've looked a lot better after a rough 5 minutes, haven't they? They've started to get to some quick play the balls. Ball retention's been a little
Yep.
better as well.
Yeah. So here we go.
Away now. And another bouncing one. It's fielded by Moala, who hands it off to his big prop, who's met down low. Toipolotu again, featuring at first receiver. Look at this carry. Bumping his way
First
through a
penalty.
couple was Latu, and gets the penalty at the end of it as well. St. Paul's now keen to get things going again. Moala thought about the quick tap, instead he's going to kick for touch. He's been to the final 10 minutes of the first half here. Only a couple of rounds left in the grading side of this SAS College Rugby League competition. Remember, we'll be bringing you the grand finals for all the grades live and free on aucklandleague.co.nz. So back to it we go. Finau. He's met well by another Finau. No relation, I understand. They centralise. Michaeli Latu, boy, he's had some impressive carries already in this one. Plays short at the line, and Lokatui has taken the ground. Going to get a bit of speed about them now, St. Paul's. Tanavasa plays out the back. Watch out for Toipolotu here. Will he chime in? They go down the left edge. Again, good scramble from St. Paul's. Their edge defence has been pretty good in a scrambling sense, although on that occasion, up inside the 10 by the look of it.
Great run. Just hanging off.
You're right, Troy, just looking a little apprehensive, and now they won't want to hang off this time because Latu is going to go very close. He's going to go more than close. He's going to score the try, and that is just pure power that time from Michaeli Latu. Just barges his way over. Let's take a look now on the SAS replay. And it all starts with this one from Savilio. And it's just not good enough here. Troy runs sort of 10 metres untouched, doesn't he, with the defence just hanging off him. And then from there, gets to a quick play of the ball. Latu's already lining up here. He can smell blood.
They're just letting them run too many metres, holding off on the D. Look, great strength.
He beats about 4 defenders, doesn't he, in the end? So really good stuff there. And that extends the lead now for St. Paul's College. Starting to look quite comfortable in their work now. As the conversion is attempted from Sione Moala. Year 12 playmaker. Guides it through, no problem. Makes it a perfect 3 from 3, and St. Paul's lead 18 points to 4.
Big thank you to Julie and her team here at Southern Cross hosting us today down at the school. I'm really grateful for all your help and assistance today, getting the Ctas live stream on.
So we go, and he slips
Tipped
over
over.
as he kicks it.
Don't want to be
And
doing
it's a short one. It's regathered from Southern Cross. And now St. Paul's are in big trouble. Brilliant legs tackle there to probably save a try. They want to quick play the ball here. Puru spins it. Goes short, and it's a power carry up the middle. Pushing really hard now. Right up against the line. Puru hands it off to the other front rower, Viti, who will go very close. St. Paul's doing well to regather here. Puru right up against the line will burrow. Not tricking anyone this time though, held up. Great goal line defence from St. Paul's. Heads up stuff there to be alert to the danger at hand. Winchman now clears the ruck, and then Whakatomafi battles for a second and then taking the ground. Very bunched up here. They get a penalty. The tap and the go from the fullback, Offa. 2 meters out from the line. Southern Cross, short. Power carry from Saliva. Right in front of the uprights. Puru is the dummy half. Spins it out the back to Whakatomafi, who will just about
Still
break
standing.
through there, and now he's looking for an option. He looks like he's playing tag, eventually taking the ground. What about this goal line defence from St. Paul's? Super impressive so far. The big Pella, short at the line. Viti, he's met by 3 would-be defenders from St. Paul's. Can they find a way through now? Come out to the edge. Great first up contact, although they get the offload away in the end. Tanuvasa meets him head on. Last tackle coming up. They look a little frustrated to Southern Cross. Puru. Spread play on out to this left edge. Whakatomafi picks it up. Is that 6 again? No, it's not. It's a handover.
Great D
Hats
by
off
St. Paul's.
St. Paul's. And they had a bit of everything that time, Troy. They scrambled well, but some of their first up contact right on point as well. So into the final 5 minutes of the half here at Southern Cross. St. Paul's in control. They were the first to score. Survived a little period of dominance as we see St. Paul's player slammed onto his back there.
Just too many meters.
Easy yardage through the middle of the park, and Matthew Savilio, who's been close to the best player on the field this half. Toi Pelotu now, they work the short side, brings in the winger, who is met by the shoulder of Kusi and promptly put into touch. Kusi voted the player of the tournament at the National Youth Tournament Under 16s last year, playing for our very own Auckland Vulcans. Went on to represent the Samoa New Zealand residents a couple of weeks ago against the New Zealand residents as well. Viti takes them up over the 40. Now Puru jumps out, spots up, and they're not quite square, just about accelerates through. Fourth tackle now. Down around the legs. To the left they come via Tuimani. Offa.
Looked open there, didn't
Winchman
it?
now. Oh, was that the option there? And it's picked up by St. Paul's. Looked like he probably had numbers there. Troy
Yeah.
potentially could have worked it. I'm not sure the little kick for himself was the option.
Loud body contact, Corey, just out there in front of us.
And they get the penalty as well. So creeping up inside the 10 that time. A couple of penalties each way.
Tap and gone. What a sneaky
This
one.
is straight through
Split
the middle
them
goes
all.
Moala. The little bit of footwork, Moala. Cover tackle gets across in the shape of Whakatomawhi, although Moala's still going. Moala, he's going to go all the way. That is an unbelievable try.
Well, I'll just put a great big blue line through my little stat sheet there all the way down to try for you, Corey, and let's enjoy the SAS replay on that one. In fact, our cameraman's still trying to keep up with them. There he is.
Incredible. The tap and the go. Look at the footwork here. He does so well to get to this point, and then here you think it's over. He's pushed to the ground. There's two would-be defenders there. He gets up.
What he realised at this point is none of his team were with him. They were all watching him, so he thought he better go on and finish the job.
But just an incredible piece of individual brilliance from Sione Moala.
And that action replay will be available on the ARL TV YouTube channel. And outside of him and his family thrashing that one to pieces, all of the replays will be up online by tomorrow morning. And you'll be able to catch all the SAS College Rugby League action there, along with the Fox Memorial.
And now he's got to take the conversion. I'll tell you what, he's looking a little worse for wear as well. Taking every second he can there as the referee. That's a cheeky word with him.
He'd be loving it. There's nothing like running the full length of the field and then turn around and kicking your own try goal. Golf try. You know, goal for your try. And he'll make a mean fist of this. Perfect.
Kick goes over, and it is St. Paul's College 24, Southern Cross Campus for 4 converted tries to the defending Auckland champions, who, aside from that one try they've conceded, have been completely dominant in this first half, Troy. They have
They've been running it well. They've made great meters.
won the middle battle, haven't they, and been able to get some quick play the balls, and that time it was just clever play. And this might just about get us to half-time. We may get one play in here. I don't think Southern Cross are too keen to hurry at all. And there goes the siren. So we will get one play in. What does St. Paul's do here?
Give it to the number 7.
Maybe some hot potato stuff. No, it'll be safety first. I'll stick to the process. And that'll get us to half-time. St. Paul's College 24, Southern Cross Campus 4. Very short break now before you're joined by Savannah and Troy for the second half here at Southern Cross Campus.